Again. Okay, every time we do an expansion episode, I feel like I have to channel my Adam Fleming and timestamp. I don't think he did this one, George. Okay, right, we'll work it. Okay. So, we now have an idea of what the process is going to look like in regards to expansion. And we just would, chat about, the biggest takeaway, which of course is not doing a traditional expansion draft. So obviously last year we had the exclusive sign window first, and then we had the expansion draft the week after. So it's basically 2 full weeks of the expansion process. So this time around we're not doing a traditional expansion draft. And there's an episode, of course, where I've gone through the whole process as a whole, explained it down, broke it down for you guys. Go check it out if you want to learn more about the process itself. It's going to be 5 phases. Which I think the 3 of us could agree it works better than... Yeah, this is better than your traditional expansion draft. I'll agree. So much more easier. It gives players more control. But of course, no expansion draft. Which is good. Nobody likes expansion draft. Nope. Nobody likes expansion draft. Yeah, but unfortunately, it has to be done. I remember last year when I think it was during Seattle's press conference, one of the official PWHL got up, did their speech, and during that speech mentioned about expansion draft, and this was Twitter's reaction. You did do that! You did! Like, he literally killed over it. I was like, oh god. But you were not looking forward to it. Yeah. Nobody likes an expansion draft. And I think this is one of the most, that last year had to be one of the most aggressive expansion drafts we've ever bought. Because obviously, we ended up losing 4 players. Everyone lost 4 players each. But at the end of the day, it all worked out fine. It all worked out in the end. Okay, but it was not a happy time. That last one was not. So, how do you feel about that? Like not doing an actual proper expansion draft. I think it's good. One of the many beauties of this league is how we have not been afraid to shape the status quo. We haven't been afraid to do things differently, whether that's do neutral site games, come up with innovative rule changes like the jailbreak goal, a best of 5 playoff series, so your traditional best of 7. Yeah, we could go on. So I think this is another one of those cases where the PWHL is working out another way of how it can stand up in the crowd and not go for the same old status quo. Because it would have been so easy just to wield out last year's process, repeat that, but it gets even worse because there's now 4 teams coming into the mix, most likely, and the more players are going to be lost, the worse it's going to be, and the more fans are just going to have history bits. Yeah, I mean, the idea for us last year was after the expansion process, we were going to do an episode on our thoughts on it, but we didn't really get to do that, because basically most of the episode got taken up with basically trying to calm the fraud down. Yeah, it was just... Yeah, so that's what I'm not looking forward to about this time, guys. Everyone are getting upset, and we're going to come back and just basically go, calm, everyone, take a moment, take a breath, okay? Because it did go a bit out of hand last year. Let's not lie, it did go a bit out of hand last year. Let's just face it. I mean, another great way for the league to find new ways of doing things. If this works, you can maybe make this the way going forward. Yeah. Because this second round of expansion It's not going to be the last. There's going to be more. But they will be less rapid than we see already. The idea is when we hit 12 teams, we are going to hold for a bit. We're going to hold for a bit, especially, of course, with the new rule changes about eligibility with the NCAA next year. We have done an episode on that for you guys. It is now able to go to get our thoughts on that. So when we hit 12 teams, we will hit the pause button expansion. We will hold for a few years, let the talent pool build back up, and then you're probably looking at the 2030s, the early 2030s. I'm thinking 2031 or 32 could be the next time we do expansion. I could easily see the league, and I've said this plenty of times, but I'll say it again. Yeah, please do. Yeah, thank you. I will do that now. I have said, I can easily see, after this next round expansion, I can easily see the league hold until after the CBA has to be renegotiated in 2031. So potentially autumn 2031 or autumn 2032 could be when we get the third round of expansion at the earliest. Then depending on how the talent pool looks in 2030s, you can then move to more expansions happening in 2030s to get us maybe to 20 teams. I do believe that when we get into my 40s, I'm looking forward to my 40s! Nap off! God's sake! I have no problem with hitting the 40s. It's the 50s. That's where you're going to see me lose my shit. That's where you're going to see me lose my shit. When we get to the 40s. 40's fine. When we get to the 50s, that's where it's going to be, oh God. I do believe when I'm going to be in my 40s, we could easily be at 20, maybe 24 teams. I do believe that. Early 40s could be when we're at 20, then late 40s could be when we're at 24. That's how I see the next few years. That's how I get. It depends on how the talent pool fills in the 2030s, then that's going to be the defined factor. But no, nap off! I've got no problem with my 40s. 40's the new 30. 40's the new 30. Okay, that means 50's the new 40. So technically, you've got to start when you're in your 60s. What, and Sun Life try to offer me life insurance? No, fuck off! I don't care you got a lovely over 50s plan, I'm not having it! I don't care you being advertised doing a place of the sun, no! Nap off! Nap off! No. Yeah, so I do think maybe 2031 or 32 people will get the next, at the earliest opportunity for the next wave of expansion. By that point, it will be, what, 5-6 years? We'll definitely be ready by then. So I think if this process goes down well, then we could be looking at the future of how the PWHL handles expansion. That would be a really good thing. Yeah. I agree with my partner over here. It's another good example of how the league is demonstrating that it's not afraid to think outside the box and not basically just do a copy and paste of what other sports leagues have done, particularly the men's sports league. So everyone just had a hissy fit when it played this damn draft. Well, because at that point, you know, it had been, I think, at least 17 years since the AHL did the expansion draft, and the rules were different, and GMs basically just did what they thought they could do to protect their best players. But that didn't go down well, did it? I think if GMs didn't make all those stupid trades, then Vegas could have been where Seattle are right now. Yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! I'm so glad that my GM at the time did not entertain stupid trades, because we didn't suffer badly in either Kraken or Fortnite drafts. We didn't suffer that badly. In terms of the Sharks, can't remember how badly the Wild suffered, but in terms of Sharks, we didn't lose that big of a deal. So other teams, yeah. So I think it's a great way to not copy what other teams are doing. We get to have our own thing. And this process has been ironed out. It 100% puts the players at the forefront, which was the problem with doing the expansion draft last year. by doing the actual expansion draft last year, players didn't have control, the local 16s had no control. This process puts control out there for the taking. The only downside to not doing an expansion draft is we won't get a nice little expansion draft show. That went really quick last year. I mean, I think us three were all surprised by how quickly they went through that. Yes, there was only 2 teams making picks in the expansion draft, but I don't think we were expecting it to go. It took what? Was it 90 minutes? Roughly 90 minutes at least. Might have been an hour and 40 at the most. But yeah, it went by really, really quickly, which I think took us all by surprise. I missed that. Yeah, I just think this process is maybe going to be lots of news articles and you reading them out. Yeah, like, oh, number one! Because literally that's what it was for the ESW. Right, this is something it was basically, as soon as a news article comes out, I was like, oh, the ball's gone! Yeah, it's just like, Cardiff. That's where, I could just picture that's where it's going to be. It's going to be just a bunch of news articles you just read out. Well, I'm ready. Power banks at the ready. I'm ready. Bring it on, bitches. I'm ready. I'm so ready for it. Let's just go. But yeah. Well, they can maybe do a show where you round up everything that's happened so far. Maybe. I don't know. What do you two think about potentially with team names? I don't think we're going to get team names 9 times at the start of the season. Okay, fantastic. Well, I mean, because obviously this is so late in the game. Because obviously this time last year, because obviously we were recording this during the semi-finals of the World Cup playoffs. This time last year, we already knew that Vancouver and Seattle had been awarded their teams, and as soon as that World Cup got handed out, that was it. We're in expansion mode. This time round, the process has been laid out before we know A, if expansion is definitely happening, and B, where we're expanding to. So I just kind of feel the longer we're kept in the dark about who these teams are, then I'm not convinced you'll have team names in time for the start of the season, which is a shame because obviously with Seattle Vancouver last year, I mean, we did not expect the Golden Knights and Toronto Brands to be released in time for the start of the season. We kind of thought it would have been a similar situation that the Local 6 were in year 1. You get the PWHL Mark Cup in year 1, you get these jerseys in year 1, then just before the start of year 2, for Seattle Vancouver, you'll get your brands and all that. But of course, it was sort of... It was the best of both worlds! I can't. No, I need time out of that. No, that was too far. That was too far! He's just ruined my childhood. That was too far! Oh, his head going around the wall. Get the head being around the wall. That was too far! Too far! Too far, I'm not having that. That went too far. Too far. You went too far there. No, you had to go there. You had to go there. Wow, that was too far. But it was. Because they got the year 1 jerseys, but still got the names and brands. Yeah. I honestly do think it would be, I don't think these fantasies, if they do come this year, they won't get anything in time. It's too late in the game. It's a shame, because with Seattle Vancouver managed to get their names and brands in time for their local season, that kind of set the premise that there should be no excuses for all future expansion teams to not have your name and brand in time for your first season. You can still do these jerseys if you want to, but there should be no excuse for you to not at least have your brands in place. Because I do think every expansion team should have this jersey. I really do. I mean, I know in season 1 was not a fan of them. I was not a fan of them. And don't worry, you will see me in the road version of this very soon. I'll do it. You will see me in a road version of this in the future. Okay. I remember during season 1 I was not a fan of these, but I put up with them because they were only temporary. Okay? But they are a real good keepsake, and as so the broadcasters said, they're good collector's items. Well, we have been day one part of the league. We've been with the league since season 1, so it feels very right, Rod. You have that jersey. Yeah. But I do think that every new team that comes to the league, I think you should at least have this jersey for your first season, regardless if you get your name or branding in time. At least do that. Yeah, it's like a city jersey. Have that, and then year 2, then slap the logos on. How is he going to cope with Vancouver next year? I do not know. There we go. I've set him off. You just love the Golden Eyes brand. If we had to rank these logos, you'd absolutely put the Golden Eyes on top. Sorry, I would. You would. Yeah, you would. So how's he going to cope next year with the jerseys? I do not know. Wish him luck, boys and girls. Wish him luck. Yeah, so I kind of feel it's a shame because, you know, with Vancouver managed to do what they did, it kind of set a precedence for the future when it comes to expansion. But I'm just not convinced because it's so late in the game now. We're nearly in June. The draft is always here. We're about to start the expansion process. I don't think I'll have them in time. Well, they'll just have to use the placeholder logos that Seattle Vancouver did for the draft last year because they were fine. They were fine. Yeah, they were fine. Yeah. I can use those in branding for game recaps if I need to. Yeah. Because you two did ask me last year with Vancouver, could I do that? And I said, yeah, wouldn't be a problem. Yeah. Yeah. But I do quite like this proposal, and I think this is going to be should be the way forward when it comes to expansion. I will kind of, in a strange way, I kind of will miss the expansion draft show because literally last year, all 3 of us, every single pick, we just like, as soon as we got ours, we were like, oh, yeah. That's because how star-studded this league is. That's because this league is so full of star-studded talent. So you can't blame us for being shocked with every single pick that got made. It was a shock. Yeah. It was a shock every time. Particularly with ours. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah. So in a strange way, I will miss the expansion draft show just for that. Just for that sheer moment we go, oh! Because we'll probably have to say that for the draft. Because obviously in case any teams make trades on the draft floor, like we saw last year, which nearly killed him. The Sirens nearly killed Pluto last year with those trades. Which one shocked you the most? It was Abby Rock. Oh, that one I did not. That one I did not see. I mean, the air shot on was a bit of a shock, but we kind of knew it was to then get Casey O'Brien because obviously they did what they did with the first overall pick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Abby Rock, I was like, really? Montreal, what? You sure you want to do this trade? Yeah. And yet they've won that. Trade. They did. They won that trade because Abby Rock has been quite a weapon for Montreal in the regular season. So actually, New York won that trade. With what? In terms of trade, New York had a draw. They won one, lost one. Yeah, but I was like, oh yeah. Yeah. The process will feel a lot different without it being a traditional expansion draft, but I think it will be for the better. And it gives players that more freedom, it gives them more control, it allows more opportunities throughout the process. Yeah. Go on, trees of Oz. Jesus, how many episodes are we doing? I have no clue. But quite a lot. So once we have the World Cup crowned by whoever, Boston, Montreal, or us. Could be us for third year. The Free Pete's still alive. Time recording. Once we've done that that celebration stream for whoever it is, because we've agreed that we are gonna still do the celebration stream regardless. We've only just recently decided on that yet, because obviously last year we agreed to do Dreamland as a full-blown show, so for whoever wins we still do it. But we didn't really agree on the celebration stream until a few weeks ago. Yeah, because I kind of felt, would that be just done for us? Then you two were like, well, no, maybe we should do it for everyone. And I was like, oh, okay, fine, yeah. It's only one show. We can be nice for one episode. Yep. Yeah, so once we've done the celebration stream for whoever wins the World Cup, we will then be in full-blown expansion mode, and there will be a lot, and I do mean a lot, of first episodes covering the process. Because obviously we're going to have one for each phase, so that's 5 right there. We've got 2 lock-ins. No! Yes, no! Have mercy on us. Oh, cut! Oh, stop me! Oh, no! No, no, no! Oh, stop milking it! No, no, no! Have mercy! No! Oh, for God's sake! No! There's gonna be 2 lock-ins. No! Because we get 2 opportunities to do protection lists. No one's gonna save you! Guillermo's coming for your soul whether you like it or not. No one's coming to save you now. Look at that. And we've also got to do an episode on the target list. No! So, and then we've got to do one about our thoughts on it all. So there's going to be quite a lot this time around. So basically, the net result of not having... Just leave it there. The net result of not having an expansion draft, it means that we've got a lot more... We've got a lot more episodes to do than we normally would, because obviously this time last year we only had to do episodes on making our protection list. Then we had to do one on the actual protection list that the league published, and then we did the expansion draft recap. So it was only about 3. This year there's a lot more on our plate, but that's fine. That's fine. It just brings us clock. It just means that we're guaranteed to hit the 300 mark a lot sooner than we expected. Are we close? Should I show you? Yeah. You might want to look at this. Because obviously, right, what I'm about to show these two is the episode log. So what I've done, because obviously we've been spring cleaning the show since we got back from our trip. So as well as creating our lovely new artwork, which we really, really, really love, we are looking to see what opportunities we can do with that. So as well as doing that, I basically put each of our shows under the Purple Grey umbrella as separate feeds, so they've got their own, right? Because obviously I host this show on Spotify for podcasters, and you can put multiple shows on the same account. So that's what I did with all the episodes of Purple Rain. And I've got on my laptop, I have a document which I basically log. So every time we do a new episode published for each show, I log it in and add it to the current total. So yeah, so come and look. That is the current log at the time of recording this on May the 4th. Oh my God, we're 12 away. We are 12 away from 300. And I thought we would hit the 300 mark towards the end of 2026, not in the midpoint. Wow, we could. Wow, we have so yeah. So that is going to add a whole lot more to the tally right there. The main show has just recently hit over the 200 mark. Yeah, so. Well, yeah, but that's mainly thanks to all the Birds episodes. Yeah. And then the others there, so also you got all the other shows there as well. Yeah. So every time I publish a new episode for any of the shows, I then add it to the tally and we then look at it. So our overall total is almost at 300 episodes. So the expansion process probably will take us over that 300 mark. Can't believe that. I know, right? Are we? And of course, we literally dropped our first episode the day after the league started. Because we got the whole first episode. We got all that done, recorded in the tail end of 2023 because it was basically like a pilot. Yeah. And we published that the day after the league got underway in 2024. Yeah. We've just been rolling ever since. We've been rolling ever since. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of episodes when the expansion process gets started. There'll be lots of. Plus, there'll also be when the expansion markets are announced. We'll also be doing episodes for each one, and we'll also do more the whole as well. Yeah, because yeah. So we're going to be very busy on February when the expansion process starts in just a few weeks' time. So basically, it's like last year. As soon as the World Cup is handed out to either Boston, Montreal, Ottawa, or us, could be us again. Once that World Cup gets handed out, you're basically your mind. You're now starting to think, right, focus now on expansion and figure out who you think you was so you get protected on your team or not. Yeah. So yeah. But do not worry, we will be here with you guys every step of the way. We will be there to hold your hand. Oh, for God's sake! News go there. News go. So, in the space of this episode, you have murdered Hannah Montana and Jesslyn. No. I'm not gonna go there. Not gonna go there. On the last episode we did, he murdered one of my childhood bands. He murdered Steps. Yeah. So there we go. Hold on. It's normally me who does the show tune quotes. What's happened here? Answer the postcard, please, George. What's going on there? No, but basically, every step of the way throughout the expansion process, we are going to be with you guys every step of the way. Okay? So do not worry. We will have you covered throughout the expansion process. Do not panic. Okay? I know it sounds really scary. It sounds really scary this time around, especially because it's going to be 4 teams rather than just 2. And it's going to be really scary, but hang in there, guys. Okay? It will all be fine. It will all be fine. We got through it last year. We survived last year. We can survive again. Okay? It's all going to be fine. And we're going to be here with you guys every step of the way. Alright? So, is there any more final thoughts? Are we happy to go there? Okay. So, there you go. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. As always, until next time, take care. Don't forget to